The greedy shopkeeper. In a small town, nestled in the foothills of the mountains, lived an old shopkeeper named Hakim. He owned a tiny shop where he sold everyday necessities. Hakim was old, but his eyes were still sharp, especially when he looked towards his till. Hakim's shop was one of the oldest in town, and people came from far and wide to buy from him. This wasn't because his goods were the best, but because his shop had almost everything one could need. However, Hakim's heart was very narrow. He wanted to profit from everything he sold, and his greed grew day by day. If a poor person asked him for credit, he would sternly refuse. If a child couldn't buy something because they were a rupee short, Hakim's heart wouldn't soften. The people of the town bought from him, but they didn't respect him. They knew him as Kanjuz Hakim, the stingy Hakim. One day, a mendicant came to the town. He looked like a beggar, dressed in old clothes and carrying a wooden staff. The mendicant came to the shop and asked Hakim for water. Hakim glared at him and reluctantly gave him a dirty cup of water. The mendicant drank the water and thanked Hakim. Then he said, "Oh, shopkeeper, I have heard that you have all kinds of goods. Do you also sell happiness?" Hakim was surprised by the beggar's question. "Happiness? What is that? That's not sold in any shop," Hakim replied. The mendicant smiled and said, "Perhaps you have never tried to look for it. Not everything is bought with money, O shopkeeper. Some things are found with the heart and with kindness." Saying this, the mendicant left the shop. Hakim kept thinking about his words. He had spent his entire life accumulating wealth. He had a lot of money, but there was no peace in his heart. He often felt lonely and sad. A few days later, there was heavy rain in the town. The river flooded and water entered people's homes. Many poor people lost their belongings and became homeless. Hakim sat in his shop, worried about keeping his wealth safe. He didn't care about the people of his town. But then he remembered the beggar's words, "Not everything is bought with money." Suddenly, something changed in Hakim's heart. Perhaps he had understood the mendicant's words. He opened his shop and brought out all the grain, clothes, and essential goods he had. He announced that he would distribute everything for free to the homeless people. The people of the town were astonished to see this side of Hakim. The Hakim, who had never helped anyone, was now coming forward to help them. Poor people came to take the goods with joy, and they prayed for him from their hearts. When the rain stopped and the situation improved, the people thanked Hakim. They said that if he hadn't helped, they would have suffered a great loss. For the first time in his life, Hakim felt true happiness. This happiness came not from accumulating money, but from helping people. From that day onwards, Hakim changed. He stopped being greedy and reduced his profit so that poor people could also buy from him. He now felt happiness in helping others, and the people of the town also started respecting him. He was no longer known as Kanjuz Hakim, but as Dilwala Hakim, the generous Hakim. Hakim learned that true wealth is not money, but the love and respect of people. And he understood all this from a small sentence spoken by a beggar. If this story touched you and made you feel something deep within, then don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, The Story Chamber. Because here, every story is more than just words. It's a journey of emotion, wonder, and reflection.